Before I became a building surveyor, I saw buildings as a fixed, unchanging object that lasted forever and would never deteriorate. Now I'm a bit older and perhaps a little wiser, although some might question that, I've come to understand that buildings do degrade over time and with use. As a building owner, it's useful to consider how to deal with this deterioration. I'm Tim Clarke, Managing Director at Harris & Clarke Chartered Surveyors, and today I'll be talking about common building defects. There are a whole host of issues that can arise with a property, whether this is commercial or residential, but many of the themes are similar. As building surveyors, we are of course rarely called out to tell people that the paint finishes on their walls are looking tired and they need to redecorate, as this is something that people can see for themselves. However, when other issues arise, such as cracking appearing in the corner of buildings, most occupiers find this pretty alarming and will pick up the phone to a company like Harris & Clarke for further advice. If things like cracking are found, there are a pretty limited amount of reasons why this can occur, but often only an experienced professional can find the real cause. The most common reason we have seen for buildings cracking is that there is a defect within the drainage system nearby, so often we will ask people to commission CCTV drainage reports. It could be that the cracking has arisen because the foundation has lost support because water's leaking out of the drains and washing away the soil that should be supporting the foundations. Once drains have been fixed, the building could be patched up and cracks filled without further remedial work. This isn't always the case, however, and other reasons that buildings can crack can be to do with differential or thermal movement, things like roof spread, or even stresses that are disconnected from the cracking itself. In one case recently, I saw cracking internally as a result of a failed external retaining wall which was pulling on the building to the extent that this 300-year-old structure was showing signs of stress that it had never shown before. Unsurprisingly, the underlying cause was a lack of maintenance to the drains. Other common building issues that we are asked to look at are typically related to humidity and dampness. It may be that tenants are experiencing problems with black spot condensation mould, and in these instances, it's crucial that the tenant's concerns are taken seriously, especially in line with the recent AWAB's law requirements. We have a separate video on this, so if you have a tenant with condensation issues, I recommend that you also look at that. Humidity and dampness issues aren't always the result of a single cause, and there may be multiple contributory factors. Most of our surveys are non-intrusive, so we won't be taking apart the building to provide our advice, as doing so can be very costly and disruptive. Instead, when providing advice on high moisture content or dampness, we will consider what we can see and provide targeted and prioritised advice based on what we think are the likely causes of this. We always inspect with specialist equipment such as damp meters, which can help us to reach conclusions. For example, if we see what's commonly known as rising damp, it may be the result of a number of factors such as leaking gutters, damaged and degraded render, failed damp-proof course, bridge cavity wall, or even a tiny leak from a pipe or water connection. When we can see all of these factors working together, we will always encourage the building owners or building managers to address all potential causes, but sometimes it's appropriate to start with the most likely cause first, as some building issues can be very expensive to remedy. Building services can degrade over time, and so if there are tiny leaks from pipes or their fittings, these can go unnoticed, but they can cause fairly significant issues elsewhere. While building surveyors are not experts on addressing services, they do normally have a good working knowledge of the majority of services in most buildings, so can give some high-level advice on these issues. Normally, when investigating defects, we will start with a non-intrusive survey, but this might end up with a requirement to open up parts of the building, or for further specialist investigations such as CCTV drainage surveys. Building issues can be progressive, so they might worsen over time, or they may be a result of a one-off occurrence. For example, is that cracking a result of a leaking drain, a tree root, or is it simply that somebody has accidentally driven into the front of your building? Not as obvious as you might think. The type of defects that most people get really worried about are structural defects. Sometimes signs of what looks to the layman to be a structural deficiency turns out to be the result of the building heating up and cooling down, which can cause unsightly cracking, but which is ultimately fairly harmless. As such, working with a building surveyor can help you to decide whether any building issues are serious or not. This can help you to decide whether or not you want to spend the money to address the apparent problems. There isn't always one single remedy for addressing building defects, and a good building surveyor should be able to work with you on this. Building surveyors often want you to spend a lot of money, However, there are instances where we can work with you to economise on building repair to suit your budget. For example, if you plan to redecorate your outside windows in the next 2 years, it may be that a simple patch repair to a roof will suffice until the point that you already have to pay for scaffold to complete other works elsewhere, and this can make projects significantly less costly. A good building surveyor can also help you to understand whether issues are present that you might just be willing to live with. Personally, I know that I've lived with dampness in my own home for the last 13 years because this has not caused issues like black spot condensation mould, and it's not really affected the way that I use my house. Ideally, of course, I should have fixed that years ago, but actually, I'd rather just use the money to go on a holiday. In a perfect world, in order to prevent building defects, we would love to have building MOTs in much the same way that cars do, so we can preemptively look at the issues and agree a plan to address these before they become really significant. In reality, of course, different owners take a different approach to the maintenance of their building, and as a result, we are normally only called in to look at specific issues. When people buy properties, they will ask a building surveyor in to assess the condition of the property, but especially with residential properties, a building surveyor may not see that property again until it's being sold.